Now that you've cleaned your SP101, GP100, and Super Redhawk, it's time to get them back into working order. If you have a GP100 or Super Redhawk revolver, start by installing the cylinder and crane assembly into the frame and close the cylinder. On the SP101, you will need to install the cylinder onto the shaft of the crane assembly before installing them into the frame. Hook the front of the trigger guard into the recess in the frame. Align the pawl in its recess in the frame and be sure that the transfer bar is in its correct position near the rear of the firing pin. Caution, hold the revolver like this to apply pressure while seating the trigger guard assembly so that you do not pinch your hands between the frame and the trigger guard. If solid resistance is felt or if the trigger guard will not lock into position, check to see if the pawl and transfer bar are aligned properly. If they are not aligned properly, insert your screwdriver into the hammer recess and move the transfer bar to its correct position. With the trigger guard properly in place, you should be able to cycle the action normally. Hold the trigger in its rearward position and insert the hammer into the frame and install the hammer pivot. Release the trigger and permit the hammer to fall fully forward. With the hammer forward, insert the mainspring assembly into the frame. Position the two claw ends into its seat. Hold the mainspring assembly in position and cock the hammer. The disassembly pin will fall freely out. If you have trouble cocking the hammer, you may need to reposition the mainspring strut like this. Squeeze the trigger and ease the hammer fully forward. Push the grip onto the frame and install the panel locator and place the pistol inserts into position. Put the disassembly pin into its nest. Install and tighten the grip panel screw. Perform a function test to make sure everything's in good working order. If so, you've done a great job thanks to this Ruger Tech tip.